Hello, good evening, our dearest viewers from a new episode of NBC Journal. This is Lana Bauda again with you, and of course, Oasis Slavi. I hope you're doing great.
Hey, greetings, Lana.
Thank you. So today on NBC Journal, we're going to talk about the news in minutes and continuing our topic with...
We're starting tonight's show with the, as you mentioned, and as well we're moving to Gaza, and we're covering the latest updates on the escalations that happened in Gaza.
And we're going to talk about the Droop app, a Palestinian app for the roads and the checkpoints in Palestine.
Yeah, and as well we're talking about the movie It Must Be Heaven. And at the end of our episode, we're having a guest. But before we move into anything, let's see the briefing news with Bassam.
Thank you, Lana and Awais. The Palestinian cabinet, headed by Prime Minister Mohammed Shtayyeh, condemned during its weekly meeting held in Ramallah the U.S. State Department deletion of the Palestinian territories from the list of the countries on its website. Hanan Ashrawi, member of the Executive Committee of the Palestinian Liberation Organization, said the recent statement made by U.S. President Donald Trump in France reflects his ignorance and knowledge of the complexities and the historical background of the Palestinian question. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu ordered the construction of 300 new housing units in the West Bank settlement of Duliv, built illegally on Al Jania village land to the west of Ramallah. The move comes following the explosion on Friday near the village of Ain Arik to the west of Ramallah that killed one Israeli settler and injuring two others. At least 127 Palestinians were injured when Israeli occupation forces stationed the Gaza border cracked down on the weekly March of Return protest activities on the Gaza eastern border with Israel, according to medical and local sources. Medical sources said 54 Palestinians were shot by live bullets, 2 of them reported in critical condition. An Israeli settler ran over a 6-year-old Palestinian girl in the village of Jabba to the southwest of Beit Lahem, the southern occupied West Bank. Eyewitnesses said a settler ran over Jana Abuloha, 6, as she was passing near the entrance connecting between the villages of Jabba and Surif, which necessitated for transfer to a hospital for medical treatment.
It's been a critical week. Thank you, Bassam, for the news. So, Lana, what are the latest updates on Gaza?
Tensions have escalated over the latest 2 weeks and raising renewed concerns of a possible wide-scale of the military conflagration between Palestinians and the Israeli occupation
not
forces.
To mention the fact that Gaza has been under siege for since the year 2007 with limited supply of medications, food, and
of course, many countries tried to help Gaza, but they were shot by the Israeli occupation forces. Let's see this video graph together, and we'll be back. Hello and welcome again, and hello Bassam in our studio. How are you? I hope you're doing great.
Dear friends, how are you guys?
Yeah, we're glad to be here with you.
Me too, me too. So have you guys heard about the Gaza conflagration?
Yeah, I was actually about to ask you about the escalations that occurred in Gaza. We've seen a report, and okay, we would like to ask you about the latest updates.
To throw a fast comment on the situation, like Gaza, it should be on the should be a top topic on each program. It's like referring to the situation, the blockade, everything that's been going on through since 2007. I'm just so curious, why hasn't Gaza been the main topic in every program internationally?
And everywhere.
Everywhere, yeah.
Yes.
It's a bit confusing. It's politics.
Yeah.
So continuing to talk about Gaza, and we want to talk about Drew application. Like Palestinians always are like, you know, the necessity is the mother of invention. And Palestinians
That's the proverb says, the international proverb.
Yeah, and Palestinians are always in need for things in their lives. So, and for this thing, they, one person, his name is Muhammad Abdel Halim, he's 39 years old, and he invented an app called Drew. Have you heard of it?
Yes, it's custom for Palestinian roads.
Yes.
Actually, you can.
It helps you through traffics and checkpoints.
Exactly.
Looking at the situation that we've been dealing with, the traffics from checkpoints.
Yeah, because as I read that the checkpoints are not shown on Google Maps or even an app called Waze.
It's invisible.
Yes.
The Droop app actually shows you everything in detail about Palestine.
Yeah, and also like I think users can report the roads situation as well as like the situation of checkpoints and if there is anything on the road.
Yeah, it's like a network of people who can report the situation on the checkpoint and they can
immediately
even change the way that they're going through.
From users to users.
To help us throughout our day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's check out this short report together.
Abu Safiya is launching and publishing music from his small studio in Naples. Bassam went to his studio and he did a small interview with him.
Do you know him, Bassam Abu Safiya?
Honestly, I didn't hear of him before. I'd love to know about him.
I can say he's an old friend. I have mad respect for this man. Like he started off like any other artist started off. He actually worked at KFC.
Wow, really?
He built his way up. He has his music wasn't like...
It was like a hobby for him.
Yeah, it was a hobby. Like he started off really, really small, and then he started off his own business. He does production and all sorts.
And now he has a small studio in
small studio.
Naples.
I think it's at home.
His home is a studio.
Yeah, it's really nearby his home,
wow, that's cool.
He's very flexible.
It's like any new startup.
He even goes out on concerts and karaoke nights, and people actually like him in the community. He's very well known.
In Palestine and outside Palestine, or
for now, let's say in Palestine.
So let's see this video with Bassam and his trip with Osama Abu Safiya. Keep watching.
Despite the struggles Palestinians go through, with true hard work and dedication, Osama Abu Safiya and Farouk Abu Safiya formed an underground home studio with music production, with playing their own music, classic, rock and pop, and all sorts of genres are raised together. Let's check them out together.
Too long, I'd probably break down and cry.
The one only Osama Abu Safiya, and every great artist has a story, and I want to hear what Osama Abu Safiya has for us today. How did you form this great studio?
It's a long story actually. Started before 5 years ago. I was working in the An-Najah University Theatre, and I was playing too many instruments before. So
guitar,
electric,
org,
exactly,
and drums.
Not the drums. I play a few percussions, but
okay.
Yeah, you know. So I started to search about recording and this stuff, to record my own music and the things that I love to record. Or
So you learned how to do production, and you used all the instruments that you learned to play in more than one song.
Yeah, exactly.
In your songs.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Cool. That's what called music production, or
composing. That's what I call a true artist.
Yeah, thank you.
And about Farouk Abu Safiya, who is he to you?
He is my cousin, first of all, and he helped me a lot in this thing. He is a drums player, a percussion player. He can play guitar also and keyboard. So we opened this home studio together, and we are working in it together.
So he's like
from
your
the start.
He's also a big part of the studio,
exactly.
and he's like the backbone.
Exactly.
Of the studio. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yes.
And you guys work together to make something out of yourselves in the community.
Yes, exactly.
And you guys haven't published anything yet?
Yes, we have. There's few things on YouTube and SoundCloud. We have original song that we wrote together in this studio. It's called Baskot Raha, and it's an alternative song.
So where can we find you on social media?
You can find me on YouTube. If you type Osama Abu Safiya, or if you type Baskot Raha, you can find the song on the YouTube.
YouTube Baskot
Raha.
Baskot Raha. Okay.
Yes.
Instagram,
yes. I have my private account on Instagram, and I put my records and my stuff on it.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time.
You're most welcome.
Let's check out more of what music he has to show us.
رجعني لأيام كيف كنا صغار نحضر كرتون ونهرب من الدار بسكوت وراحة وعيشة مرتاحة وأكبر همنا كان كيف نلعب والدنيا شتا نلعب تحت الشتاء.
Today's episode is full of Palestinian topics, and continuing our episode by talking about a great movie by Ilya Suleiman.
It must be heaven.
It
must be heaven.
I heard about the
about
movie.
Yeah.
It got a good hit
A
on social media.
7.4 out of 10 on IMDb.
And also people were clapping for him for 6 minutes. I watched a video about it. Yes.
What does the movie symbolize, basically?
It talks about like a Palestinian who went to Paris and New York in some sort of living, and at the same time it was a shock for him because everything was so much different. And I mean, all the situation, everything from everyday life to even some sort of cultural shocks for him.
Yeah, it was like escaping from Palestine in order to see a new life, but he was shocked with a new life. And this is like, because it's an irony. It must be heaven. And he did not
Exactly.
see it
Yeah. It's like not knowing what you want, but at the same time, we always want freedom. Let's look at this trailer together and check it out.
Palestinian cinema refuses to stop by the checkpoints and the limitation in Palestine.
Yeah, and as well, we're talking about going back to school.
It's our favorite time of the year. It's almost September. And this breeze of going back to school always gets me happy.
Like finally.
Yeah, the vibe of going back to school. Have you seen the pictures all over Facebook for parents posting pictures about their sons and daughters?
Usually, just mostly moms.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really happy now because the houses now are empty and they can do whatever they want in the mornings without having their kids with them.
I mean, me myself also is going back to school. I'm still in my 4th year at the university, and my favorite, my favorite thing about going back to school is that I'm going back to see my friends. Okay, so let's see these interviews Bassam did with students on campus about going back to school.
Once again, it's the season of not knowing if to be depressed or happy. It's the back to school season. Today we'll be asking friends, family, brothers, and friends how they feel about this season. Let's check it out right now. What do you think about students going back to school?
First of all, the school season is very important for our economic, of course. Yeah. It's season for our trade and Palestinian economic. Second, our life is organized now because you know now.
It's like you know when to sleep and you know when to wake up.
Exactly, the whole environment is organized now because everyone has students on the schools, cousins, relatives, and all in the school. So our life is organized now, and everything going better and better for the students.
That's awesome. Do you think they invested in their summer good? Like, did they learn from their summer?
No, I don't think all the children learn summer because you see them, some of them work, and that's good, I think, for their personality. And others go to education institute and something like this, but not all of them prepared for the school. But I think our Palestinian education is very organized, so the whole is going well.
Well said, well said. Thank you so much. So we're with?
Aysam.
Aysam. Are you still in school?
No, actually I'm at the university.
School.
Kind of.
And are you excited or not excited?
Actually, I am excited.
You are?
Yeah.
What changed? Most people say I'm not, but why are you excited?
I'm excited because I don't like free time, and I have plenty of free time.
You work?
I work just for 6 hours a day.
Oh, okay. So you have plenty of free time afterwards.
Yes.
And how did you invest your summer? What did you invest in your summer?
I have invested my summer.
Like in your personality, what changed?
I read a lot, and I guess reading is the perfect way to improve your personality and
consume knowledge.
Yeah, of course. And my new job, which is actually with foreigners. So on personal aspects, I developed my personality meeting foreigners, a lot of internationals, stuff like that.
That's cool, that's cool. Thanks so much for your time. So we're with?
Hamzi.
Hamzi, is it your first day at school so far?
Yeah, it's been.
How do you feel going back to school after a long summer?
Yeah, I feel excited. I was bored from the summer.
Bored from summer?
Yeah, because you have nothing to do. But when school comes, you have something to do. You're gonna wake up early. You have a competition. You're gonna get good averages.
If we have more people like you, got a brighter future. And what gets you motivated to go to school every day?
I think my friends there. I have good, nice teachers. Yeah.
Well, me personally, I like the food back in high school. But
yeah.
What's your favorite sandwich?
Falafel.
Falafel?
Yeah.
It's the only sandwich they have, I guess.
Of course.
All right, thanks a lot, Hamzi. Nice to see you.
How many of us dreamed of studying abroad, especially in a vintage and a wonder place like the UK? Today, our guest achieved his master and also finished with a distinction. Let's welcome Yusuf Abu Zaid. How are you?
Good afternoon. I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Yusuf, we're glad that you're here with us. To start tonight, Okay, could you please introduce yourself to our audience?
Yeah, of course. My name is Youssef Abu Zaid. I finished my master's degree from the University of Warwick in the UK in Coventry in the Midlands. Before that, I finished my BA at An-Najah National University. I studied English language and literature. And for my master's, I finished drama education and English language teaching.
That's awesome.
That was your master?
Yeah, that was my master's. So currently, I'm teaching in the language center at An-Najah National University, and I'm also teaching in the education department because I finished in drama education. So I'm teaching also courses in drama education and English language teaching. Yeah, drama methods and English language teaching.
Yes.
You've been doing a lot, and you've finished your BA and MA with like some sort of, let's say, distinction. Yes. Distinction.
Yes.
So, like, do you have some sort of a personal secret of how you do it?
I think it is commitment. You just do it, and you just do it because you feel it is the right thing for you. So this is how I felt about it. And I've been recently reading and educating myself, and I feel that this kind of motivation just comes because you're doing the work. It's not because you're motivated to study, so you study. So no, you study, you read, you work, and then this is where the motivation is born.
What was your biggest challenges moving to the UK and coming back or here and moving to the UK?
Well, let's begin with moving from here to the UK. I was really, really excited at the time. I just felt, I knew that it is a huge responsibility because I was going on a scholarship. It is the HESPAL scholarship given by the British Council. And
we're so lucky to have HESPAL scholarship.
Oh, thank you so much.
They know who to choose.
Thank you so much. So yes, so moving from here to the UK, I have to admit that it was my first time moving out of my parents' house, moving out of the city, the country, and just living abroad. So it was a huge responsibility for me to take care of myself and to study and just to make sure that I get to the point that they wanted me to get.
Was it for 1 year or more?
It was for 1 year. Actually, today is the 25th of August, and I got back to Palestine exactly last year, 25th of August.
How long did it take you to fit in the UK?
3 seconds.
So you didn't have any sort of cultural shock when you've been there?
I think I had more of a reverse cultural shock than a cultural shock because I was preparing myself. I was like ready for the experience. I read a lot. I asked a lot of people about the experience. A lot of things happened according to what I expected, but a lot of things were unexpected. So, but it was really smooth.
Or could you tell us about like this experience? How did it affect you? And your personality and all of this when you came back to Palestine?
That's a lot because beginning to live on my own, I had to understand the culture first. For example, the bus system, which we don't have here. The metro.
Well, you already know that we don't have a bus system.
Exactly.
Here.
So moving there and just living, because I read about it, but real life is different from theory, what we read on the internet and on articles.
True.
So I had to be there. I had to get lost a few times. I had to use Google Maps a lot of times. I had to ask a lot of people. But it was smooth. It was like a journey of discovery.
Yeah. Getting lost when you're traveling is a good thing, actually.
It is.
You discover things you don't expect. But I want to go back to the question of things you didn't expect when you traveled abroad.
Things that I didn't expect.
You studied so much that you actually...
I was ready for that because I think for me, because I asked a lot of people, I was already in contact with the people there, with the teachers, with the students. We created some kind of a community before even moving there because there are Facebook groups where we just like signed in and we became a community even before starting.
And that's good when you first arrive.
Yeah. So, but talking about the challenges that I faced when I first arrived, it was basically the life, even though I was ready for it, but the things that are in theory, the things that you read about are different from practice. Like you're gonna get lost, even like reading and studying, the whole educational system is different. But I think, again, for me, I think I knew about it before, but I just had to cope with meeting the expectation with reality.
Exactly. So like when you moved back here to Palestine, how long did it take you to fit in back?
That was
I don't think that's
3
it,
years.
you know.
that was a real challenge, wasn't it?
Or if you had any sort of post-travel depression.
I'm not sure. But, well, this is a thing also about the HESPAL scholarship because we left through An-Najah National University, so I was a scholar. So when I came back, I had to start working right away. So I think that took a lot of my time.
Okay, Youssef, let's end up with one question. Like, could you tell your students or young people, especially your students, one advice, or could you tell them one experience from your experiences maybe that influenced you and your career?
Before moving? Like the things that inspired you to move?
In general, because you had a great experience in the UK, and now you're teaching here, and you're using drama, which is a great thing and new thing in Palestine. So could you tell us?
Well, I'll talk about even before moving. What inspired me specifically were, I think, my teachers who were on the same scholarship. So I made friendships with those teachers, and they inspired me and guided me through the process. And then I moved there, and I've learned a lot because the education system was different, because a lot of things, like, it was more of an interactive atmosphere where you learn a lot and you produce, you don't just receive things. After coming back, again, I tried to use a lot of the assessment methods that I received there, a lot of the
But they were all great. There were good assessments, good evaluations.
Well, good is a very vague term. It's about like learning more how to do things, not to be really traditional and old school.
Thank you, Yusuf, for this wonderful knowledge that we just gained from you, and I hope everyone looks forward to doing what you did.
Oh, thank you.
And you being a role model, it's very important.
Thank you.
And you're young, like you're very young, and you did the.
I think currently I'm the youngest teacher at the university.
Yes.
That's an accomplishment.
That's inspiring.
Maybe they can differentiate between you and the students.
A lot of the times it does happen because I would enter a class and the students would be like, "Where's the teacher?"
Thank you for watching. This was it for this episode for tonight. For more information, visit nn.ps. And see you next week.